We go. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the April Showers Brings May Flowers Spring Fundraising Campaign for the Arts Partnership. I cannot believe we are a year past last year's Zoom live streaming conversations around this when I didn't even know how to use Zoom yet. So now I feel like I have a PhD in Zoom, as does the rest of the developed world. But I am so thrilled to kick off this week's conversation with Fargo Moorhead's very own, actually Moorhead's own, let's just be clear, Becky Gulsvig, because I know that Moorhead takes that very seriously, but the Metro has been the beneficiary of your talent and your generosity, Becky, and the Arts Partnership gets it today. So thanks for joining us.
Oh, my pleasure. Thanks for having me.
So we're talking to you from the East Coast, where you live, because you spend a lot of your life on Broadway.
Yes, I have. It's been very, very fun. It's been, well, it'll be 21 years ago this August that I moved to New York. And we now, for the last 11 years, have lived in Jersey. We're in Commuterville.
Yep.
But still, you know, theatrically based out of New York.
Yeah, yes. Well, and as all of us who get to spend some time out there from time to time know, you don't have to live in the same city to be very close, because distance is a very different thing on the East Coast than it is in the middle of the country.
Yes, things are much cozier.
Yes. So Becky, first of all, tell us really quickly how your year has been, because everybody knows that the arts globally have been shut down and that the performing arts in particular have been really damaged, because when you can't gather, you can't perform.
Yeah, everything is just at a great big standstill.
Yeah.
I had just finished my contract at Come From Away on Broadway on March 1st. So a week and a half later, Broadway shut down, which, you know, is so mixed from a professional standpoint, because luckily my contract was done. So I had my closure, as opposed to the people who were on their way to work and their jobs closed. Now, Come From Away, I think will be back. I hope we'll be back. But there are a lot of people in shows that won't be back or don't know yet. Who knows? I mean, it's all very unknown. And in a business that is defined by being unknown all the time.
It didn't need this additional stress.
We didn't need that. But, you know, as a whole, actors are used to bouncing and being creative in other ways than just the arts and just making it happen. And starting over from scratch all the time. I mean, it was very fascinating to grow up and realize that even the people who can win Tony Awards, their shows close and they're unemployed like the rest of us. So it is always starting over, hopefully with a few more cool things on your resume. But yeah, the business went very quiet, with the only things available being these kind of Zoomy things or streaming concerts or singing songs by yourself with a screen. That's just not,
it's not
what we're built for.
No, so, it's not.
While that's lovely and it's made some new connections and you realize you can actually, you know, get in touch with theater people this way is awesome. And that should continue, but we miss the live vibes for sure.
Absolutely.
But then for me personally, in the summer, I was getting pretty fed up without having anything to do. And I was seeing all these videos of like teachers showing up in their kids' driveways and doing stuff with them, and just the extra lengths people were going to make stuff happen. And I was like, you know, it's time to stop sitting still. And I started a business where I've been going to people's driveways or backyards, and basically we're having theater class. So people, for COVID's sake, were putting together their own groups of 4 to 8 kids. So we're keeping it small, and it was masked and outside, even in the winter, which is hilarious because out here it like is like a drop of, you know,
right. Winter is different.
Like, we're closed, and I'm like, no, we're going. You don't know cold.
Right.
So we've been doing that all year, and I have a couple of friends working for me, which was great to be able to give them the work and fun for me to have the camaraderie. And it's been going very well and been really fun. So, and saved my soul, because that we've actually been singing and dancing and not missing it as much. Clearly we miss a lot of aspects of it, but so that's gotten me through the year in multiple ways. And my daughter's learning still online.
Yeah.
Bless her. They're supposed to go back in the building next week. So we'll see.
For what, 4 weeks? It'll be so quick. They'll just get used to it and back they'll come.
I know. School gets out later here. It gets out in the 20s of June, like the 21st, 22nd. So they'll get hopefully like 6 weeks ish.
Okay. Yeah.
But yeah, so just trucking along, technically fine.
Yeah.
No,
Right. Right.
fine is always loaded.
Yeah. Yes, it is. Yes. It used to be sort of passive aggressive, and now fine means something completely different. And
Yeah,
neither of them are very satisfying.
yeah.
But
But
you
all
just
good.
won an award for this work, Becky, a community award. So talk about
Well,
that, because I voted.
thank you. Yeah. So I entered this local small business competition, but then they made a point of saying that the votes can come from anywhere. So anyone
That's
who
when it's
follows
good to
them,
have an invested hometown, Becky, that cares
I'm
about you.
just saying the hometown represented. So thank you. Yeah, it's been fun. The prize package, this is so new territory for me. Like
Mhm.
singing, dancing, kids, teaching, all that stuff is, I've been doing that. But the actual business side of it is new. And
Yeah.
I started small and tried to keep it reasonable so that I'm not in over my head. Um, but to get in touch with all these other business owners, and this prize package is basically advice from all the people who've been doing what I'm doing in other mediums, or like with
Okay.
other things. Obviously they're not theater company
Right.
people, which
40,
is
40
great.
small theater companies in New Jersey. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a lot of like social media coaching, or pictures, or website help, or just business planning help, and the package is fascinating to me because it's full of tools that I can use and are
Yeah.
different for me, and just having to figure that side out, and just like as it's morphed through the year, like how I've done scheduling and spreadsheets. What's a spreadsheet?
Yeah.
Well, the rest
Still,
of the
still
world.
don't ask me that, Becky.
Yeah.
I have staff for that.
Yeah, so there's been a lot of that, and then this is our first session now, starting today, with an automated scheduling that
Oh.
actually sends reminders, so it's not me like sending
Mhm.
things. So that's been a learning curve, but this competition has been fun to get in touch with the business side. And so
Sure.
yesterday they announced the winners. There were lots of weeks of voting, so thank you to my online friends who put up with the multiple voting and punching in your email addresses. I'm sorry, you can block them, you don't need a house in New Jersey, but
We
but
might.
thank you.
Who knows?
You might. It's kind of expensive. The market's bananas right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
All the
I
beauty
don't need a
people
house
are
in
out.
New Jersey, but someone might.
Someone might.
Yeah. Well, it's really exciting. And you know what I think is fun to think about, Becky, is, eventually we can presume that Broadway will go back and that you will find your next place in that too. I certainly do not believe that your career is a in the rear view mirror kind of career. You're just getting started, I think. But um, now you'll have this skill set and this additional work that perhaps you will be able to then teach other artists across the country to do. I mean, who knows what will come of this that you never would have developed, because you never would have had to, had your consistent gigs just kept showing up. So
Yeah, it's true. And I've
it
spent a
may
lot
turn
of
out
time.
to be a real gift.
Yeah, I'm already thankful for it. I mean, thank you. I've spent a lot of time teaching for other people in between jobs, and that's wonderful. But then I realized, oh, this could be nice, because it means if I want to do a pop-up where this friend from this show comes and talks about it, because I'm working out of town at this summer theater, we can partner with that theater and do a mini master class on a Saturday morning because I can decide.
Right, right.
I'm in a business where we don't get to like make our own decisions most of the time. We hope someone will pick us and let us do what we love and what we're good at, but we don't just get to like make it happen.
Mhm.
So that's refreshing when you've been in it
It's,
long enough. You're
it's
like,
good to be
oh,
your own boss.
yeah, yeah. It's exhausting. It's a lot
Yes,
more
it
time
is.
on screens than I realized, because I
Mhm.
don't like to be a screen person. Hey, cheers, screen. Also, I didn't plan this mug. This looks like
Well done though.
but
I had tickets to see that in Minneapolis, and it's one of the
mm,
things that I most was regretting about COVID for my fine world, was that I
they'll
didn't
be
get to
back.
see it, because I've
They'll be
heard such
back.
incredible things.
Touring is going to be tricky to get back out, but they will, and
Yeah,
they'll come back.
absolutely. Well, Becky, let's talk about your early years and why the arts in the Fargo, Moorhead, West Fargo metro community were so important for you. Because, I don't believe that, unlike 42nd Street, you sort of just land in New York and someone says, hey, kid, let me make you a star. I think you kind of now need that growing up experience to really get where you got. So, can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, I'm super thankful for all the experiences I had in the FM area. I did my first, well, okay, let's go beyond musicals, because I know that singing in the church choirs was a huge thing.
Yep.
Absolutely. Like you're singing every week, you're singing the hymns.
Mhm.
I know that you're born with your own kind of voice, but if you grew up singing church hymns, it's all in an amazing location of your mix belt. If you've
Oh,
ever noticed.
interesting. Okay.
And it's so funny when I go back and I'm like singing, I'm like, oh, yeah, this is why my voice like does this easily. Like, because well, you're singing all the time,
Mhm.
and
It's true.
and you're just used to having people sing around you. And anything with music is just so enriching. But yeah, so singing in the church choirs and all that stuff. And um any little thing that the kids get to do in school is so important. I remember doing I would love to see a video of the Nutcracker at Probstfield Elementary in like
Uh-huh.
third grade, whatever grade that was, where we all were different parts. I mean, I can only
You
imagine.
know, somebody has that video, Becky Gulsvig. So
Bring it out, friends.
yeah.
Bring it out. It would be like from your old, like
Right. The big heavy
super
camcorders.
sized thing,
Yep.
taking a video. But um, but I remember that, And then Vicky Sunday actually was the person who talked to my mom, I believe, or dad, or both, saying, you should probably get her in touch with the Gaspers. She should start taking dance. They're doing Annie in the spring. If she wants to audition, she should be in dance class. So that was the whole start of that, because it wasn't on our radar. I come from a family of teachers and coaches, and I played basketball and softball, and but in fourth grade did my first musical with them.
Uh-huh.
And then
Which I saw, by the way.
Oh, you did?
I did. I remember you clearly. You were already amazing. And I guess I would have to say that. Like, what am I going to say? Yeah, I didn't see anything in you, Becky. That's not true. You were really good. You were really good.
Oh, thank you. It was so fun.
Yeah.
I mean, I fell in love with the theater, with the art of it, with the actual theater. Like I love being in theaters. If you're a
Me
theater
too.
person, that is your place.
Mhm.
And I loved it.
Yeah.
So then kept dancing with them, and all through high school danced with them and did whatever I could get my hands on. Of course, Trollwood was a huge part of that.
Mhm.
I love what Trollwood offers, bringing all the community kids together and getting to do stuff with the kids from other high schools. And it's different now. It's bigger now with the new space. It's bigger, it's fancier.
Yes, it is.
Better or for worse. I think there is a certain amount of grit that you get from getting dressed in an army tent and being bit by all the mosquitoes.
All the mosquitoes up the floorboards. Oh man, nobody can understand.
Face while they're singing.
Yep.
I remember like bending over to kiss Josh Campbell's head in Gethsemane in Superstar, and he had like bugs in his hair.
Yep.
Because he's outside, not because he's gross.
Right. Because he was sweating because it was 1,000 degrees. And yeah, I mean, there is some baptism by fire to all outdoor theater, but particularly that stage right on the river. Yeah.
But it's great that, the new space is awesome. They have, I think, more rain options, like obviously more bells and whistles.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. But that plus the Gaspers plus Moorhead High. I really loved doing the shows there. Speech was a huge thing for me. I mean, I loved it. When I explained to people the speech team and how it had over 100 people on it, and they had to actually they have to cut people now,
right?
Which is, come on, like let's have 8 speech teams, like that. You never have to be cut. But from this in particular, people are like, wait, it was cool. I was like, well, for me it was. There were lots of people doing it. So Rebecca Meyer Larson was massive to me, and still is. So I'm glad that I got all of that, but in retrospect, I'm so glad that the kids get all of that. I'm glad that the FM area supports the arts and that there are things for kids to do. My brother did Gooseberry and loved it. I don't know, does Gooseberry still happen?
It does. Yep, okay. Absolutely. They're doing Beauty and the Beast this summer. So great. Cinderella at Trollwood and Beauty and the Beast at Gooseberry. Yes.
And I did do a show at FMCT, but I was the blue top in the Velveteen Rabbit. That's right. Pretty pivotal role. Yeah, I was miserable. It was a big character building experience for me, having to play the blue top and have like 2 lines and paint my whole face blue and wear a giant fat blue costume.
Wow.
I didn't have a lot of those.
Way to suffer through that, Becky.
Listen, I don't think there's a picture. I'm pretty sure I hid from a camera in that one.
Yeah, that's fair. Well, Becky, our time has quickly come to an end, but let me just say, first of all, how how generous you are with your time to come back to the community. I know that you've done master classes at Trollwood. I know that you have stayed connected to the people in the community and the organizations that have been important to you. You know, we like to use Joe Biden's phrase BFD from when he sort of forced President Obama's hand to come out in support of gay marriage, which stands for big effing deal, because he said it right into the microphone. And we think of you as a BFD in the community because you are. But what's great about it is that you come back and you're just Becky Gulsvig from Fargo Moorhead. So that's an amazing thing, because it really does, I think, speak to the skills and the work ethic that you learned in this community that carried you forward, the talent which you would have had whether you'd had the opportunity to discover it or not, but you had that opportunity. And then just your incredible understanding that it is a big deal when somebody gets as far as you've gotten, and you do have things that you can share with the dreamers who are coming up behind you. So thanks for always coming back and doing that. Thanks for joining us today, because it's a big thing to have somebody who's come as far as you have remember the blue top and the nutcracker. And, I mean, we all have those highs and lows in our careers, wherever our career takes us. So most people don't go quite as far as you have, but I think the interesting and fun thing is to think about where you have yet to go and to see how it all grows and blooms and blossoms, which is exactly what the point of this campaign is this week. So just my plug for the day, and then I will wrap up with you, Becky, quickly. Give $25 or more anytime this week online, theartspartnership.net/donate, and you can help get to be a key in supporting the arts in the community. Christina made these in our office. You can come pick them up on my boulevard this week. I'll give you the address on Friday, but $25 or more, so that we can make sure that we are supporting the arts in the community, so that the other people, the other Becky Gulsvigs who live in this community, whether they go on to Broadway or they go on to anything else, have the opportunity to grow and be successful and live out their dreams here and beyond. So Becky, thank you so much for kicking the week off with us.
Thank you. Have a great day.
You as well, and best of luck with your new venture. And eventually I will see you in something on Broadway, because, Annie, Jesus Christ Superstar, 42nd Street, Damn Yankees. I bet you've come a long way since then. So it's time for me to get to you in this iteration. Thanks so much, Becky. Everybody else, we'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.